So last week, the City of Sydney actually featured three of Wattblock's Strata champions in an EV Charging Roadmap webinar. We're excited that three of these buildings that we've helped on the EV charging journey have been selected by the City of Sydney to try and convey their experiences and make it easier for the next lot of Strata buildings to embed EV charging infrastructure into their buildings. So the three buildings, Verve at Erskineville, Mel is the facilities manager there, and Wattblock helped Verve with an EV charging feasibility study. Then they went on to install their EV charging backbone in March to April 2022. Zinc, we assisted with an EV charging survey for them to get a sense as to how many people were going to want to buy electric vehicles. We did an EV charging feasibility study for them, and we also advocated for this building, Zinc, with Tesla to get 10 free Tesla wall chargers as a test site for Tesla's apartment charging system in the Australian market. And then finally, Reflections in Pyrmont. We assisted this building with an EV charging survey and a 1-hour Zoom session on the case for EV charging.
Thank you. So yeah, the barriers. Residents' appetite and attitudes to EVs can differ within buildings. So it's important to understand the appetite for EV charging in a building before embarking on detailed modelling and electrical assessments. One way to do this is undertake a survey of people's attitudes towards EVs, for example.
Yeah, so I'm the building manager at Verve Apartments in Erskineville. Our building was built in 2009, which is about 16 years old. We've got about 102 units with 74 car spaces. And yeah, that's a bit about our building.
Fantastic. And when did you install EV charging infrastructure, Mel?
That was in March, April 2022.
Great. And what kind of infrastructure did you install?
So we did the full hog. We installed all the backbone. We did all the cable trays. We installed a new DB because we've got 2 levels of basements. We've obviously only got one on level 1, and pretty much got everything together for the whole of the building. Instead of just installing in 1 or 2 pieces, it was all ready to go for all the residents when they're ready to install their EVs.
Fantastic. And we'll definitely come back and ask more on that in a moment. Nathan, I'm going to throw it to you. So tell us a bit about Zinc, number of apartments, parking spaces, and about your EV infrastructure as well.
Yeah, so there's 45 apartments. There are 30 parking spaces, of which 5 are for visitors and the balance dedicated to individual apartments. Across that, we've got 10 chargers, and it's conveniently set up so that just about every space has got access to 2 chargers.
Great.
The flat cable solution, and it's future-proof for future expansion.
Great, thank you. And last but not least, David, tell us a bit about Reflections and the kind of setup that you have there.
Reflections, we've got 10 stories, 78 units. There are about 100 parking spaces because some people have got 2 spots. And we've basically done a full installation across, in other words, everybody's got the facility there to have a charger. We did that, I guess, two and a half years ago. It was completed 2.5 years ago. The investigation, we were very early on investigating all this, and we started around about 2019. So it took us about 4 years to get to the final installation. But we were certainly at the pointy end of all this, where there was very little knowledge out there and a lot of disinformation, which was quite a hazard to us in getting the body corporate across the line.
Yeah, fantastic. And Nathan, was that a similar kind of topic of how it came up in your building as well, or did it come up in a different way?
It was there was there was a particular advocate that led the charge. And then that was backed up by a survey that Wattblock did for us, just to put some facts around that advocacy, what people were likely to do at what point in the future, gauging the level of interest, such like, and then we built on it from there.
Yeah, great. And Mel, how did the topic first come up over in Verve?
Well, I sort of echo Nathan and David's comments, very similar. And we also got a Wattblock survey as well, which was fantastic.
Plus, the other thing was, as Mel said, was the investigation into the residents' attitude towards it, and making sure that, say, we used Brent Clark to do the survey for us on that, to make sure that we got the backing of the residents, and that basically turned out around about 70%